Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Tuesday. How's you doing? Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Sterling. Thank you for putting in the news and the earnings. Good morning, Patrick. Again, we had Home Depot. That's the one I was really looking at. Was a miss, and the stock is up. They did reaffirm guidance for the rest of the year, but it was a miss. So I think they tried to spin it. We'll have to see how that plays out. I'm going to be looking for rollover plays in Home Depot. Another one, Pan, we talked about this. I'm going to still be looking for rollover plays in this one, too. It gapped straight to its 200 with a beat. It's not a cheap stock. It's still trading 100 PE. Uh, uh, so I'm going to be looking for potential rollovers unless it can stay above its 200 and build a base. That one would be interesting for another potential short setup at some point, not today. Uh, Good morning, Dean. Good morning, Royal Palms. Good morning, John. Red Book did come out. Yeah, 5.9, 5.7. Again, nothing major there. Good morning, David. Good morning, Ted. Good morning, Stafford. Nice to see you. Good morning, Rick. The 60s overnight and 70s in the day. Best right now in Maryland. SoftBank buys $2 billion in Intel. There we go. Good morning, Anissa. So, hey, Patrick, where are you traveling right now? Forgot to ask. All right. Again, very quiet day. We got building permits, housing starts, Red Book. We got Bowman speaking at 11:10 a.m. All eyes are on Jackson Hole though now, which starts tomorrow evening. Tomorrow evening. Again, we don't have much going on. We have the FLMC minutes from the last meeting coming out tomorrow afternoon. Again, nothing today. Nothing today. Oops. There's your Home Depot now up 2.36%. Oh, Lowe's is, of course, rallying in conjunction with it. This market is just, again, there are no shorts, would not be shorting it, but it's in pure rah-rah mode. Still, even with this little minor pullback. Base materials, healthcare, consumer defensive, so we've got still risk off going on. Could shift today or tomorrow, we'll see. Fed watch back, it's actually slowly easing down, but it's still 83% for the cut in September. Fear and greed still in greed. Schiller PE 38.83. Sterling already put in the earnings from yesterday afternoon and this morning. Toll Brothers is the only real thing this afternoon, and Target tomorrow morning. TJ Maxx. So again, very quiet week. Good morning, Heinrich. Very quiet week. All right. Pulled back, just stair-stepping lower into the rising rotation zone. The double is not triggered or confirmed. This is, let's see, does it still work? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. If it doesn't trigger on the 4-hour, like in the next 4-hour thing, it's off the table. It's off the table. So that doesn't mean that this can't be a key breakdown point, but my targets then would shift to if the double does not get triggered or confirmed. All right, in the next, I mean, technically we have 60 minutes left, and then we start another bar. So it doesn't look like it's going to be, but if it does not, and then we break below this key low from last Thursday, my first target, funny enough, is the same target as the double, but it's the prior breakout zone from this big bar back on the 12th, back on CPI Tuesday. So that would be my first target, 64.28. If the double still vanishes, but we did break down. Again, I am not keen on shorts right now unless we start getting major momentum to the downside. There's just too much support is coming into. So, hold on a second. So, and then my next target would be end of the clear path, which is just below. The end of the clear path is just below the final target for the double. Funny how that works. Now, I'm focusing more on if we break back above this 40, It's a 60, sorry, not 40, 64.67, 64.68. I'm looking for back for a first target of 64.75, then 64.84. This is for day traders only, and then a potential rotation back up. If we do not set this up today and we stay in a range, I'll be looking for a potential. I'm going to be watching tomorrow for a potential percent B buy. Remember, cycles are still rolling over. So if we did drop down, again, I'm looking at those two targets. And I'd probably raise this again. We had the 4 hour in the clear path. It's right by the end of the bottom of the rotation zone, right at 6,400. So I might go just in front of that if we did break down for another target. But those are the two targets the downside. I'm still focused on another potential rolling up and then a bigger rollover play. On the weekly, we still got weekly cycles rolling over too. The market does not really want to see the drop. So far, this is just a sideways correction. Good morning, Jacob. So you're in St. Louis, then Kentucky. Well, good. Well, hey, have some fun. Have some fun there, Patrick. Glad you can still tune in. So this, again, sideways correction so far. NASDAQ, little more of a pullback correction, but still holding the prior breakout area where we had the quick little sell-off at the beginning of August. The bounce back, we got back above the candle bodies, and now are testing this area. I'll probably be looking for the same thing for a potential percent B buy maybe tomorrow. On the shorter term today, I'm still keeping an eye. Tried to pop above the trend line briefly. It keeps getting rejected. So it really has to get above this 23,800 and sustain above there before I'm interested. On a pullback, we're coming into a pretty key support area. There's a support zone, actually. Let me just move. There is a very key support zone. If we between about 23,660 to 23,700 if we drop into the open. If we do that, then I'll be looking closer for a potential front run for a percent B buy tomorrow. There's a big support zone coming in here. Again, the only thing, I'm not looking for shorts even if it drops, because, again, there's too many stopping points unless we get major momentum. There are just too many stopping points along the way. So, again, trading against some very key prior breakout area. I'll still use the targets for the two ones I laid out. It's going to be invalid in the futures. They're close enough to the prior targets. I'd still use it. I mean, it's funny how many times your targets nearly work out. They're, again, and targets are areas, so that's where I really will focus on. A lot of times they come out very similar. That's what's so funny. So it's so interesting. Dow, really nice. I mean, a little pullback here, but rotation zone rotating back up. Still looking for the Dow. The Dow's got to break above this key open price of 45,120. But so far, it's gone a whole bunch of nowhere since the big move on Wednesday. A whole bunch of nowhere. Overall, a sideways correction at the recent high area. Remember, there's a major resistance here. I would not be surprised for Dow to eke out another new high before another potential sell-off. We are getting cycles back to the top. We are not in overbought yet. Would not be surprised to see it eking out a new high with waning momentum to suck the last people in. You can see on the weekly how it's been dropping on each push higher. Again, we'll have to wait for a good short setup. There is not one yet. If this rotates back up, I'm looking for a little mini potential double. I just can't get overly short this market. It's just yet. There might be going into the next couple weeks into September. Boy, Labor Day's almost upon us. Wow. Russell, again, pulling back to the prior breakout level. Prior breakout level, the market's just it's coiling, waiting for something. I still think it's going to try to push higher unless something shocks this market. The Russell's got to get above 2306. VIX, again, anything popping up, declining rotation zone to double, which again, it's confirmed, not triggered. A, your close was did not close in there. B, it would have been, even if it closed in there, it would have been a red close. So it is confirmed, but again, the market is extremely, extremely complacent. I'm going to start looking for some serious additional hedges again coming up shortly. It does feel like summer mode right now. Or until NVIDIA earnings. Remember, when are NVIDIA earnings? That's a good point. NVIDIA earnings aren't till... What? No, that... When are they? The 27th? Is that when it is? The 27th. So, that could be a good point, Charles. That could be a good point. NVIDIA's also looking, a lot of the market's looking tired, but it's not shortable yet from my perspective. Again, that's only my perspective. The yields, again, triggered to double, little pullback today, but it looks like this still, again, wants to climb higher at some point. We'll see. We'll see. There's not a lot of good setups. The only thing is still the long setup on the micro yields, unless it's invalidated. That's the only pattern there. Crude, still pulling back. Crude, remember, yesterday was a roll to the October contract. Still being patient into a very key support area right around the 61. Then I'll be watching. We're going to get again, we bounced out of oversold. Looks like we could be setting up a divergence close to this. It doesn't have to exactly hit 61. I'm just watching for a more significant bottoming formation in here. So that's what I'll be looking for here. We have the EIA numbers tomorrow. Gold, trying to hold. Gold, this double is no longer. Okay, what I'm watching now is if it can break above, this is the area I'm watching. And possibly tomorrow, if we do pull back, we could still possibly have another percent beat buy set up tomorrow, depending on this. Either way, I'm focused on about 33.95 area on any break higher. The only thing that takes that off the table is if we break down and close below this trend line. Today is a day that there's just not a lot going on. NVIDIA most under-owned mega cap. Oh, geez. Come on. Relative to their weightings, but look at their weighting. Look at the weighting. See, this is where the weightings are skewing everything. Look at the weight of and that's the thing that's being missed here, based off their weightings. Well, if it's so overvalued though, and so overweighted in the cap, that yeah, it might be well relative to their weighting, it might still be under-owned, but that should tell you something. So, I mean, that's where I would not. Oh, I think something's going to shake this market to its core. I'm looking in September. But dollar index still very interesting. Holding the trend line, not able to retain a sell-off. Not able to do it, still basing here. We had the slight probability shift, but it's not been able to break down. Again, only if this starts getting below 97.20 am I interested in shorts. Other than that, I'm still looking for a potential bounce move. Euro, I'm still watching for a potential rollover move. there's just, again, not a great setup just yet. Spiders did confirm the it still qualifies. It's almost a channeling double top, like a horizontal channel double top, not triggered. Not triggered. So this one we don't redraw. But again, what would be the this? I still use my targets in the S&P without it on, like the S&P. You know what? I don't think. Well, I gotta wait. Still technically gotta wait. But again, I'd be looking at the first and second targets if we do break down. The spiders, you can still use. If it did close below 642.34 on a 4-hour basis, you can still use the targets. I'd be closer to really the first and second target only. Interesting enough, this third target is to the breakaway, the little breakaway gap there. But again, it's into the rotation zone. So those are the key to 640.42. When it's like that, I go to 640.50, 55 area. Then you're about 639.50. Then 638.50. Qs still coming into very key support area about 574.50 to 575. That's what I'll be looking for today. Interesting to see if we set up a percent beat buy for tomorrow. That's about it so far with the Qs. This is the 4-hour. You know, a little flagging, little bull flag pattern there. Back into the daily rotation zone. Again, that's a pretty nice pattern that favors the next bullish break. There's just not a great setup yet today. Bitcoin. I'm liking Bitcoin setup potentially. We're still weeks away. Oh, boy. I'm liking Bitcoin. Potentially. There's no buy yet. What am I looking for? Well, it broke down, formed this little resistance base. We broke above it. Now retesting it as support. If we break down and close below this base, not interested then. But, and this isn't for today. This isn't for today. We could be setting up a percent beat buy for tomorrow. I guess there's technically one if Bitcoin rallied up strongly today and closed above yesterday's high. It would be a percent beat buy from yesterday. I'd still prefer it for tomorrow. Looking for that though. Key thing is it's going to be tricky. It's going to be slightly tricky with reward to risk. So it's got to be managed closely because there's a very key breakdown area right here. So it's a more aggressive. If this were to trigger, I'd actually look for a front run pattern. This double does not work. This potential double does not work because the targets are beyond it. But I will be looking to see if we get some bullish stuff tomorrow for a potential front run pattern to this to get better reward to risk, but it's still got to follow through. And this isn't for today. Again, I can't find good setups today. So sometimes it's best to sit on the hands. That's what you've been looking at, Sterling. So, what else? Tesla actually looks like a pullback flag pattern in the rotation zone that triggered a double. The market just doesn't want to go. It doesn't want to go down, and it's just buying time. Is this, how many more days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we got plenty of time left on that. But this is getting extended, but not completely invalidated yet. All right, I'm not going to waste anybody's time because there just isn't much going on today. Isn't much going on. So I'm more interested in setups tomorrow unless something changes with momentum. I'll be keeping an eye if we do get momentum moves, but other than that, it's going quiet into Jackson Hole Fed meeting minutes tomorrow when Jackson Hole that kicks off. There's just not a lot of releases. Let's see what's coming out on Thursday again. Thursday, again, tomorrow we don't have much besides a meeting and Jackson Hole kicks off. It doesn't matter. Jackson Hole kicks off tomorrow night. Thursday, again, we have the jobless claims, S&P, manufacturing and services, consumer board leading index, and Philly Fed, plus the Jackson Hole speeches. And then we got Powell speaking Friday. So early. So is the market going to be on pause at least through Thursday? We shall see. This is where I'm not in the mood to force anything. Sometimes it's best to just sit on hands and wait for better setups, and this is looking like one of those times for me, unless something drastically changes after the open. With that, I shall be seeing everybody tomorrow. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Bye for now.